Hey everybody, welcome back to the third and final video of my disc brake conversion, front disc brake conversion for 49 GMC 1-ton truck. The first two videos, if you want to check them out, covered the installation of the brake kit itself. This last one is going to talk about my dual master cylinder and some of the plumbing I had to do. I am going to mention a few companies in here. This is not a paid endorsement. I am a full price paying customer. If I like a company, I like to mention it because I like to hear this good news from other people as well. You know, good news travels fast. All right, so I stuck with a manual master cylinder. It's a 76 Corvette style Rebestos dual chamber master cylinder. I got it on Rock Auto, about 38 bucks. I painted it with 415. And then the proportioning valve and the bracket, which I painted red, came from Brothers Trucks, and Brothers Trucks website actually has a good video on doing this conversion. And one other thing I had to do was the pedal linkage was a little short, so I added a coupler and a threaded rod to extend it a little bit so I can still adjust it. I just needed like another couple inches, and they do make these in longer lengths, but I didn't know exactly how long I needed, so I just ended up doing the coupler, and that worked great. And then, yes, you do put spacers in there. It's like a Heim joint, and it connects to the stock brake pedal, so you don't have to modify anything. So these dual master cylinders require a proportioning valve. I kept my rear drums, so it's very important that you get a disc drum proportioning combination valve. I learned a lot about braking systems as I did this, and disc drums is a little bit of a complex setup, and these solve all those problems. It has a 10-pound residual valve for the drums to help keep the pressure up, so you get better pedal feel, and it sends more fluid to the disc brakes in the front because discs require more fluid to move them. Another thing, this red plug here, I got to take this out. This is where the safety switch goes. So if you lose your brakes, what happens is the valve body, this is called the bleed tool, and no fluid comes out of here, but what happens is, let's say you lose your rear brakes, you hit the brakes, there's low pressure, the valve body slides, and there's a recess in here, and when it goes across here, it'll hit the switch, which you would have wired to a light on your dash, and that would put on the brake light. Without this tool, as soon as you open up a bleed screw and start bleeding, it'll shift it and close off the side that you're trying to bleed. And it throws everything off, and it makes bleeding almost impossible. And I had a heck of a time until I figured out you need one of these. It's just an aluminum plug, and you're not supposed to leave it in here. I got to take it out and put the switch back in, but it just holds that safety valve in place. And a lot of people argue, oh, that's not how these things work. You know, I've been working on these forever, and they don't do that. That's true for the stock ones, the factory ones that come from GM. These aftermarket ones, I got this from Brothers. The manufacturer's website says, this is a Performance Online POL brand. It says right on there that there's a safety valve, and if you lose your brakes, when it slides over to activate the safety light, it also closes off that end. So as I was trying to bleed, this was tripped, and I was getting no fluid out of the back drums, and I found out I needed one of these. It didn't come with my kit. They're about $8 on eBay. You can find them other places. There's plastic versions. I got an aluminum one. So yeah, and then what I did was I used 1/4-inch steel line, ran it along the frame rail on the driver's side, up and over the drive shaft bearing, and I kind of lucked out because I did a rough bend to get it into place, and it just happened to almost meet up with an existing junction. So I undid my old brake line, put a new flare on here, and connected it, and then I didn't have to disturb anything down there, which was nice. And then for the front, there's two ports for the front. You can plug one of them, which is what I did, and I used this side. And I followed the stock route, which goes under the transmission and comes up to this junction block. Previously, this side went to the rear brakes, and I just plugged that with an inverted flare plug. And then this is 3/16 NICOP, very easy to bend, easy to work with. plumbed it in here with the right size fitting, and then I left the front lines in place because they were actually in really good shape. And then a note about the calipers, they use different size lines, and I was able to keep the old ones, but you see that copper piece there, that's an adapter. That's 1/4 inch down, so 1/4 inch on this, the 1/4 inch line goes in here, and it's 7/16 threads down to 3/8 threads. And then this is where the lines that came with the brake kit go, and they give you the tab to lock it in place, which fits. And then it's the standard banjo bolt that goes into the disc caliper. So yeah, I got these adapters because I was lazy and I didn't want to cut out, pretty good brake lines. And so far it works really well. I don't have any leaks. I took it for a few rides, drove it with, 70 bales of hay in it, stopped great. The reason I upgraded to discs was mainly because the stock drums were warped and they bounced around like crazy when you hit the brakes. So I figured if I'm gonna get in there and do it, I'll do discs. I wanted to do something a little different. And TSM Manufacturing makes these, and I finally found a company that makes a conversion kit. So I figured, what the heck, I'll have, they use like 80s 2500 Chevy calipers and rotors, so those are a little easier to find than the old drums for these trucks. It stops really well. The original brakes were certainly adequate. They did the job. It was just they were bouncy as all can be because they were warped. But I'm real happy with it. The pedal feel is good. I may need to do a 2-pound residual valve for the fronts. That's one of the things the manufacturer, TSM, recommends. If your master cylinder is lower than the front brakes, it allows a little more fluid to drain back. And it's not exactly lower. It's kind of like level with them. So I didn't get one initially, but I may get one because sometimes the pedal's a little inconsistent. And I'm not sure if that's just because I need to bleed a little more or what. But, I mean, they stop awesome, and they work really well. So, yeah, I deem this a success. I'm happy with it. Not much more else to say. But, thanks for watching, and good luck on your own conversion if you decide to do it. Thank you.